Welcome to our web exclusive. I'm Mike Montecalvo, along with Eyewitness News analyst Lieutenant General Reginald Centracchio. General, let's talk about the Olympics. They start next Friday, July 27th. Security is already in place, but we're finding some problems as we're going along.
We're finding that the company that was hired did not meet its obligation to come up with about 10,000 security guards. Right now they have about 2,500. Consequently, they've had to draft military personnel from the Great Britain military forces, and this gives them probably an unprecedented challenge of being able to put it all together and be able to communicate with each other. That's the challenge as I see it for the Olympics this time.
Well, you're talking about troops, so there's about 17,000, but they're thinking of adding another 3,500. Some American troops are a part of that, but they're also looking at 20,000 police officers, and when you think about the millions of people that will be going in and out, is that enough?
Probably not. Their primary concern is not only public safety for Great Britain and London specifically, but there are 17,000 athletes there also that need to be their primary concern, their primary focus. That's a huge task.
Now, is the Games present an attractive option or target, let's say, for terrorism?
Post 9/11, every large gathering does. So we're seeing, once again, areas that they've not had to deal with before, specifically cyber terrorism, other considerations, perhaps bioterrorism, chemical terrorism. Those are all things that they plan for, hopefully will not see, but they are planning for them.
You know, if it was in the United States, I think most generals and even the president would say he's comfortable with what's going on. But it's not in the United States. It's in England. How comfortable are they at that point?
Well,
or how comfortable are we?
I don't think we're as comfortable as if it were here in the United States. We're beholden, obviously, to another country. U.S. citizens are there. Other assets are available to London at this particular point. But I think your question is right on. If we're here in the United States, we know what the assets are. We know what the plan is. We're not privy to all of the inner workings of the plan that's being produced, and especially when they start identifying shortcomings such as numbers of people. That should be a concern to everyone involved in the Olympics.
So the special forces are already in place, you know, checking it out before the actual Olympics start on Friday.
They did, but like, you know, most military units can in fact have a duplicate role. Special forces have a special mission. When they're taken out of that mission and used for security, such as we saw in the Rhode Island National Guard, we sent artillery personnel to do security missions, totally alien from what they're trained to do. And I hope that's not the case here with the Olympics, because you're taking disciplined troops, specifically special forces, and putting them in a security role, which is a drastic change from what they're used to doing.
You know, General, we're talking about just the security in general and terrorism, for example, but knife and gun crimes are also a problem here that they're looking at.
Yeah, every day, and when you have the availability, such as the opportunities to have more people there, you know, you just have to accept the fact that regular street crimes are going to continue, perhaps even ramp up because of the basics of numbers being available for these crimes to be committed.
How do we prevent cyber attacks?
You really have to have redundancy in the system. You have to be aware that anytime there's even a slight glitch in our ability to communicate, you have to go to alternative systems, specifically different frequencies, different radio systems, and different connectivity between different agencies.
And that's the concern for the military and the police, so they can talk to each other, right?
It is, and that's been the case right here in Rhode Island with the 800 megahertz. Prior to that system, Central Falls couldn't talk to Woonsocket and so on and so forth. Now we have a single system where you can in fact communicate within the police departments and fire departments. Hopefully they've solved that challenge in London as we speak.
It's amazing. It's a fun time, but what goes on behind the scenes to keep people safe. General, real quick, let's talk about Syria, and we are at a civil war at this point there?
Yes, the United Nations did make that comment. In fact, they called it not so much civil war, but the bottom line is they are at civil war because there are different factions within Syria who are now fighting each other, not so much as the civilians against the government, but factions within Syria are now taking sides, and that's what a civil war is. When you take a specific methodology and go to war, and you only can have one outcome. Either one or the other is going to win in this particular scenario. The government has all of the resources, but we're finding out that the rebels and those that are taking aim at the government are coming up equally as fast with resourcing.
And peace nowhere in sight?
Not at this particular junction, no.
Okay. General Centracchio, thank you for your thoughts.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching.